What's up, Hames Nation? Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amable, aka The Fallen King, and as always, today's gonna be lit. Alright, so before we get into today's video, I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for the support. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you learned something great in this video. And I do want to apologize because as I'm recording this video, my body's feeling weird. I think something just caught me up without any warning. So my voice doesn't sound good, and I kind of started my words a couple times during the recording portion of this, and so I apologize for that part. Anyway, today I'm recording a video. It's a story style type of video, and there's a huge lesson at the end, and I really hope you guys do enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, please leave a like. That's all I'm asking for. And if you are new to this channel and you like it, please leave a like. And if you don't like it, just let me know what I did wrong or what I could do to improve. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace. In a hospital, a man lied in bed hooked up to machines and IV tubes. Many months ago, he worked as a construction man for a big company for housing projects in his community. Before he got sick and was admitted into the hospital, they were working on a project to build a school. But as he was working, he had a major accident, a very close call. As they were working on covering up the ceiling, he climbed up on a ladder. Someone who was still on the ground picked up a piece of sheet metal and pushed it up to him. As he received it, he pulled it backwards all the way up. He started making his way to the place where he needed to put it. But in order to secure it on the roof, he had to obscurely shift his body onto a rafter. But since the roof had a slight slant in it, as he tried to put it in the first nail on the bottom right corner, he tried holding in place the sheet metal with his left arm. Before the nail was in place, a gust of wind swept over the roof, startling everything around. The sheet metal slid down violently when he tried to grab it so it wouldn't crash into the ground or seriously harm someone. It slammed into his arm, slicing it open. He staggered back in pure agony from the pain shooting up his arm. He misstepped and plunged to the ground. The metal landed several feet away, and although he wasn't severely hurt, his arm was injured and his leg was fractured. He was rushed to the hospital right away. Several months later, while he was in the hospital, one day the door to his room opened up, and he saw that someone else was moved into the room. They got to talk some and get to know each other. One day he was feeling specifically worse than usual. As he lied in his bed, it dawned on him that there's a probability that he won't get well enough to work again to provide for his family. He's been in there for so long that he forgot what outside looks like. One day, the new guy sat up in his bed and looked out of the window, cause he's the only one out of the two who was nearest to the window and had the capability to. As every day he did this, he would describe this amazing scenes and things that were supposedly happening outside, like kids outside playing tag under this huge tree with bright green leaves on its branches as they hide away from the scorching sun.
Perfect shot.
As the new guy described scenes like these, the man who'd been in the hospital for a very long time and couldn't walk out or sit up in his bed on his own, he would paint in his mind this beautiful, happy thoughts that just put a smile on his face. One day, though, a tragedy happened as the new guy, who was terminally ill, was one morning found silent and dead while he was sleeping.
Nice shot.
His friend was so devastated that someone he barely knew but was so close to had just died. What had he done to deserve this? His friend wondered. But after he was done mourning his loss and coming to terms that that's just how life is, he uttered in a quiet, soft voice, "At least he died peacefully," he said. His body was moved out of the room and into the morgue. Weeks went by and the guy got more depressed because of how quiet he was without his friend. He had no one to talk to and no one to describe what was going on outside. So one day he asked his caretaker if they would move him to the bed nearest the window. But when they did that, he was in for a shock and disappointment, as he quickly realized that outside the window there was nothing to see. Sure, there was a tree, but slightly beyond that was a huge white fence that covered the street. With a shocked look on his face, he asked his caretaker, "What happened?" Before his friend passed away, he always described all these amazing things to him that made him happy, but there's nothing outside the window. The caretaker responded saying, "It's impossible that he saw all those things because, matter of fact, that man had been blind the whole time." The reason he had described all these things to him was because after talking, he knew what this guy was going through, and so he decided to be his eyes for him by describing things that he purely formed in his mind, in his own thoughts. He continued to do so when he saw he had a positive outlook on you. After hearing this, the man asked to be taken back to his own bed. Moral of the story is, you have the option to sit back and do absolutely nothing and let life be what it wants to be, or you can be the key to another person's life. You could change their story and destiny and do something great for others before your time out of this world comes. Because as human beings, it should be in our nature to leave the world better than what it was when we first arrived.